From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time once again for The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max, of course, at my bar, where everybody's welcome to have a seat, grab a beverage, and get a chance to tell their story. New people, return visitors, we welcome them all. We got a good one lined up for you this time. We're talking a little inventions, we're talking a little business, we're talking a little life, maybe even a little military with this crew. It's going to be a good one. Let's welcome them in. Of course, brought to you by our friends at Terrell Hogan, and our good buddy right here is Major Hardy. Hi, Major. Good to see you again, my man. How you been?
I've been great.
What's going on? What's the latest with you here at Client Focus Media?
Just getting people in the door. Yeah, we're still going well.
Yeah.
A lot of new talent and stuff coming in, and hoping we can service them.
Yeah. Got to keep the pipeline thick, right? Keep
full,
it moving. Yeah. Keep it all moving in here.
Keep the backlog.
Well, you do a great job, man. It's a great thing. And you got a good friend here, Mark Shaw, return visitor, Ultra Tech International Incorporated. Mark, how you been?
Good.
Last time you were here, you were talking about getting rid of the red tide in the ocean. It was absolutely incredible. How's that project going, and what's the latest with you guys?
So far, so good. We've gotten through two rounds of testing.
Yep.
And we've been able to destroy it. First round, 100%. Second round, we hit about 80%, but then they had a malfunction.
Okay.
So we're now in the third round, and they finished it up about a month ago. It takes them about a month to do the tests. And as of next week, we should get the results. And fingers crossed, from there, we go to open ocean and test it.
And then after that, how long is that? Is that a long process after the original?
No, I mean, we're just waiting for the red tide to kick back on.
Okay.
So this time of year when it starts to,
Sure.
so hopefully we'll get a chance to go out there and see if it works in the open ocean.
Awesome. Coach Campo is here. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Tom,
Always
I'm
fascinating, our guests. You know,
Unbelievable. That's a great thing about the show is diversity.
No doubt.
You know, every different business, entrepreneurs, military, name it. It's great here.
No doubt. Chris Budihas is back too. Chris, hey, thanks for your service as always, man.
Yeah.
How you been? How's the consultant business?
It's doing great. Yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yesterday's events that happened in Georgia with the school shooting,
I know,
with my
terrible.
company, Guardians
Terrible.
Fortress, we're trying to really push the word out. Like, you got to be preemptive. You know, nobody puts their kid on a school bus thinking they're going to be injured.
No doubt.
You know, we got the digital. You know, we have the digital assessment they can use to look at their security vulnerabilities and address those before something silly happens.
Yeah.
So,
You know, is it crazy thing? I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever thought of this, but retired military, retired police, maybe retired firefighter, you know, per.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, 3 per school.
Yeah.
You know, that would be more than happy to protect our children from anything going on that's not supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
Like
And when I talk to
yesterday.
school resource officers, I mean, they want to do the job. Most of them are really good at doing the job.
Right.
It's the school vulnerabilities is they just don't understand what the issues are. You know, So a lot of times I talk to schools, they'll say, I need more cameras, I need more armed security, and I need more metal detectors. And the process is, most of the times it's a process issue or policy issue. You have metal detectors, but nobody is watching anybody go through them. You have plenty of cameras, but nobody's watching the cameras.
Right. All right. So sports is business is life. That was the thing that happened in our country yesterday. How does that affect you business-wise as far as security? Right. That's gotta. I mean, look. I drive my daughter to school. We go by Fletcher High School today. There's police presence like you've never seen before. I like it. I'm like, this is great. I think I wish we'd had this every single day. But how do you figure that out?
Well, I think you can through our digital risk assessment, which is very intensive. You can see where you score high and not invest in those things you don't need, like more metal detectors, more armed security, and invest in things you need to, like a process to evacuate, to identify at-risk students and address those issues before they happen. As we say in the military, with the improvised explosive devices, get left of the boom. So if you address the issues, you'll probably reduce these problems. And we saw this young man yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt.
There was a history of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Coach, things happen in life all the time during football season, off the field, whatnot. How do you keep it together with your team when things like that happen?
Well, I had a little bit of an experience in it. I was a head coach in Dallas when 9/11 occurred. So, it was a situation where obviously we didn't play the first week afterwards.
Right.
But we were in the middle of training camp. It was just before the opening of the season. So I brought the team in and I really explained the situation. And obviously it was a very difficult situation. And we played actually in New York the next week.
I remember that.
The very first game.
I remember that.
And the biggest thing was that I told the guys, I said, look, we have a job to do, but not this week.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we've got to look
time
at
and
it.
place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then when this week is done, regardless of how we feel, we're not going to feel good regardless of what the situation is. But we have a job to do, and I think the guys handled it pretty darn well.
How do you take it all in, Mark? You know, you're working on all these things. Obviously, I don't know if you can sleep at night for crying out loud, but you got all these things going on. You know, you got to take time for what happens in life, right, and react to them.
Yeah. No, I mean, no doubt. I mean, we talked about the recent incident that just happened with those two guys and the hockey players. And,
right.
I mean, that hit my
guys.
wife and I pretty hard. So you just try and assimilate. The one thing you try not to do is just get so used to it that you
get numb to it.
Yeah,
don't get numb to it. No.
I think it happens to all
Good
of us
call.
to some degree. So every now and then one pops back up and just makes you think about it. You know?
No doubt. Well, hopefully it can all get better. Last word, Major.
You got to go through that healing.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's shock immediately, but then you gotta process it, and you gotta heal. Yeah, and then you got to go on. You got to pick it up and move on.
The silver lining sometimes, a lot of times, it does bring a lot of people together, man. You know, so we can not let it happen again.
I'm not only the hockey players, but the shooting. Yeah, yesterday, so
no doubt
senseless.
As part of the life lessons that we see all the time. You know. Great to have you on the show. Thanks so much. All right, check out their profiles. You'll see this conversation. You'll see hundreds, thousands, I don't know, so many of them. I lose count, but it's always a great time. So until next time, you stay safe out there, and we truly mean that. And be cool, and we mean that as well. And we'll see you next time right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers.
Darrell Hogan Law is a collection of lawyers that help people solve problems in areas of their life they're not able to solve them themselves.
We are not individuals. We are purely a team. We work together for all of our clients.
We have the resources to win your case and win it to such a degree that you're going to be very happy with the results.